Hey, what's going on? Strat Soldier here with the weekend shift. Hey, it's another pre-recorded show. I know it's March Madness. Lots of pre-recorded shows. Usually I do like one pre-recorded and like three live, but it got flipped this month. We'll be back to the live shows in April. We did one really good live show last week. We had such a great time. I mean, we had an amazing time. And you guys actually triangled me out because I had a bunch of stuff I wanted to talk about and I would make watch lists. And you guys were like, nah, we want to talk about price action. And one thing that kept coming up every time, and every time it comes up in the power hours, it comes up in Twitter, it comes up in the Facebook, it comes up in anything with the Strat. What keeps coming up is what is TTO? What is triangle day out? And this one episode is going to define what it is. This is it. This is going to be the triangle layout mini course, okay? Mini course. Because it really does explain a lot of things. It explains everything that we do and then how we do it. And triangle day out has been reduced down to TTO because of Chuck. Chuck, back at it again with the Strat scan. You know who Chuck is. He was in my very first, I talked about him in my very first Benzinga interview. So Chuck actually reduced it down to TTO. That's not really from Rob. That's something that came up in Twitter. So it's an abbreviation. And a lot of these guys are starting to abbreviate a bunch of other stuff too. Instead of just typing out inside bars or typing IB and mother bar problems, they're typing, was it MBPs, it's just, and then pivot machine gun turned into MPG or anyway, all the letters. The strat language is already hard enough, okay? Once you get the lingo, it's fun. We can communicate rapidly. But when we start abbreviating it, it just makes it even harder. So anyway, that's my spiel on abbreviations. No, I wanna expand on what triangle layout is, and again, this be the course on this tiny little this episode be the end all be all on what triangle layout is. Okay. Before we get into that, hey, if you want to get in with us, it's Scipio Group with Rob's live training room, Smith in the Black. Type in promo code STRATSOLDIER 2022. That's going to get you the first 3 months with Rob for only $99 per month, okay? That's going to get you started. There's a lot more that comes with that, but first 3 months, think of it as a whole quarter, because that's what it is. A whole quarter with Rob for only $99 per month. That's a good deal to get started, get you going. And I'll tell you, but there's a lot more that comes with that. I'll tell you at the end. Triangle layout. Okay, let's get to it. Triangle layout. What is it? Triangle layout is a reversal on a smaller time frame that does not affect the larger trend. Okay, in the major time frames. Okay, so it's triangle layout is a reversal on a smaller time frame that doesn't affect the overall trend in the 4 major time frames. Okay, think about it as a reversal on the 15-minute or reversal on the 5-minute. Now we know those reversals can grow and they get bigger, and pretty soon your triangle layout TTO 2-2 to the downside on the 5-minute turns into a 2-2 down on the 15-minute, which turns into an outside bar on the 30-minute, which turns into an outside bar on the 60-minute. Now you got an outside day, or you got a 2 down on the day, when it wasn't starting like that, So we know it can grow because of conflict, okay? Conflict and then change. But that's a lesson on time frame continuity. Triangle layout is not very hard to work with. It's not a very hard concept to grasp, but when you do, you know what to do, okay? You know what we're doing. Anytime Rob says triangle, I don't care what he'll say fractal triangle, he'll say, triangle layout, triangle. You hear him say this all the time.
Triangle layout, they will.
He says it all the time. What we're doing is waiting for what they call in technical analysis is a pullback. Oh boy. I almost threw up in my mouth. I hate saying I hate saying that term. Oh gosh. we're waiting for corrective activity, okay? So when it's going run sheep run, blasting into the highs, and it looks like there's no way you're going to be able to get into this because it's the 60s, just one solid green bar up. It's going to the moon. Don't worry about it. Don't get the FOMO. And the reason why Rob says don't get the FOMO, triangle they out. They will. Just wait. Okay, just wait. Don't be rushing in there to try to get killed. Okay, we're never rushing in there to try to be first one get killed. What we do is we wait for a reversal. Okay, we wait for corrective activity. Wait for people start taking profits because remember, not everybody trades the strat. Okay, so when they start making profits, whether it be trading the trend up or down, they start making money. Let's just go to the upside because it's easier to talk about. And their stock makes $2 or $3. They're gonna start selling it. Same thing when we've been watching XLE gap up, and it'll gap up, and then they start selling it immediately. We only gapped up $2. They don't care. They got too much in it, and they're always I don't know. They say always selling whatever. But where normally we would add to our positions, other traders are taught to sell. So, because they don't know magnitude. Okay, so let's get to it. Let's go to the charts. This is QQQ, but let's go to the SPY. Again, this is pre-recorded, so these charts may look a little different by the time you watch it on Saturday. By the time you watch it on Saturday, this broadening formation here's our week right here, may look a little different, okay? Here's your month. All right, this is how I trade. Month, the week, the day, and the 60 all up all at once, okay? This shows me time frame continuity, okay? The color of what's going on. Right now, sellers are in control right now, okay? It's Wednesday, and sellers in control, all right? You got 2-2 reversal right here, 2-2 reversal right here on the daily, 2 up, 2 down, all right? 2 up, 2 down, 2 up, 2 down. Here's your 60s, okay? Last hour of the day. 2 up, 2 down, 2 up, 2 down. Let's do this for the kids in the back, all right? And then the people that's never seen this before, okay? Let's go to the daily. We believe there are only 2 ways, we believe there's only 3 ways anything can trade, all right? Inside bar right here. See this scenario 1? Scenario 1 is inside bar. It doesn't take out either side of the previous range, all right? Let's mark this. Doesn't take out either side of the previous range. All right, I explain this every episode, but every episode I got people asking me about it, all right? This is very important. The strat scenarios. This is how we simplify all of this. Inside bar doesn't take out either side of this previous range, all right? Easy. And then now you have a scenario 2. Scenario 2 takes out one side of the previous range, either the top or the bottom. Let's get you some good 2s. Here's scenario 2 down. It takes out the bottom of this 2. Okay, this previous range takes out the bottom. Scenario 2 down. Then we have a scenario 2 up where it takes out the top part of this range. Okay, so 2 down, 2 up. There's your reversal. 2 reversal down, 2 reversal back up. All right, and you have your scenario 3 right here where it takes out both sides of the previous range. Okay, this on a smaller time frame is a broadening formation. Okay, this is a broadening formation on a smaller time frame. We're looking at, these are SPY on the daily. All right, I'm using this this is your broadening formation. Notice it takes out both sides of the previous range. Takes out the tops, take out the lows, take out the top. Okay, scenario 3. That was real quick on how these scenarios work, but let's go back to that daily. I did that because I want you to see something. because this is where Rob would say, triangle they out. Okay? Triangle they out right here. All right? Anybody who bought right here, anybody who bought right here, yep, right here. These guys are gone now. All right? Anybody who bought at 445.84, all the way up in here, they didn't take profits, they held it. Here comes today. We gapped down today. Was it bad news? Yeah, we opened up inside bar. We opened up inside scenario 1, and then kind of went up a little bit, and then just kind of crapped out the rest of the day. The Fed, Jay Powell not making the market go burr. He's talking about raising them rates, and yep. And what we're seeing is, let's make bring the front. Yep. All right. So these guys got triangled out. All right. Whoever bought here, put their stops here. It goes up, 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 and then the very next bar comes in, takes them out. Okay, they got triangled out. All right, that's what we mean by triangle they out. Now the magnitude for this 2-2 reversal is all the way down here, and we could get a 2-2 continuation tomorrow, but that's basically triangle they out. Okay, these guys got triangled out. They bought here, they thought it was going to keep going. Here comes the next day. Opens up inside, buyers do not keep stepping up, and then the sellers take over. Okay, bam, and they take these guys. Whoever had stops here, they're gone now, triangled out. Okay, they're gone. They are gone, triangled out. So this is so looking at broadening formation here. Again, it didn't take out magnitude, okay? It didn't take magnitude all the way down here at 440.76, okay? But here's your smaller, on the daily charts, here's your smaller, excuse me, let's do this right here. On the daily charts, there's your broadening formation, and then right here. So that's your sub-try, okay? You'll hear Rob say sub-tries as well. And because, again, price action moves through a series of broadening formations, okay? It does it that's how it works on the larger time frames. That's how it works on the smaller time frames. So right now, for this triangle right here, this broadening formation, it's more than likely going to break the bottom low of this and keep going 2-2 continuation down tomorrow, down to 440.85. We will see, okay? But that's what it's a lot closer to doing. Rob always says, what's the next two? What's the next two? So it's a lot closer to going down. But there's always 3 ways anything can trade, okay? We can open up inside tomorrow, all right? In this sub-try, we can open up inside day. Scenario 1. Imagine if you can imagine that. We can also go, we can gap up way up here for no reason. First, opening up scenario 2. Then we're going back up here, okay? We're looking to go back up here. If it gaps up, pre-market or something like that, way up here, like 450 or something, some crazy news overnight. You always want to have 3 plans, okay? You can also gap up here and then go 3, scenario 3. All right, that's where it gaps up in here and then just dies. All right, they sell it off immediately. They bought it up and they sold it down, which create an outside bar here, which will create another broadening formation. Okay, another triangle. Again, when we say try, we're referring to the triangle. And anytime we say triangle, we're referring to the broadening formation. Okay. Broadening formation. Weekly. Take it back to the week. So there's your sub-try on the week. Okay. It looks a little funky on the month, but that's your sub-try on the week. So what's it closer to doing? All right. Now the week is still forming. Okay. So we don't want to call this a shooter just yet. It's forming a shooter. We can. Looking at this broadening formation, this ain't done yet. It could go right back up. back up to 450, 46. All right, we already talked about that situation in the daily charts. It can go right back up, or it can go. Let's just say it closes here. Maybe it closes at the lows here, just for the sake of conversation. It closes at the lows here, and then goes 2-2 continuation down, and the magnitude would be way down here. All right, if that happens, holy crap! But 415.90. If it happens, it won't be a surprise for the stratters because that's what we look for. Okay, what's the next target to be taken out? And that, again, you can see how it would be working in this broadening formation, okay? All right? And these guys would be, if this hits 2-2 reversal down and hits magnitude down here, we would be triangling out everybody who was in here, okay? Triangle they out. Triangle they out, okay? Talking about the broadening formation. Smaller time frames. Let's make it. Let's take the conversation just a little bit easier for maybe day traders or just people trying to get in and create a winning position. Okay, so you're trying to create a winning position. Here's the situation. Yeah, here we go. So you're trying to create a winning position in this situation here, where it's just run sheep. Rob says run sheep run. They're just buying anything and everything, and the SPY is going up. 2-2 continuation right here on the 60, blast off. Okay, all right, and you can see right here on the daily, my daily chart here. All right, let's put an arrow. We'll put an arrow here so you guys can see that, because I am talking this 60 right here is in this daily bar, okay? And it's 2-2 continuation up, all right? And this week was green as well, green up, all right? Blast off. Everybody's scrambling, okay? Because everything's going 2 up. And Rob he's like, just wait, just...
Triangle they out, they will.
Okay, just wait. It's going to happen. You don't have to just jump in and get wrecked, okay? Just be patient. And then what did they do? Here it comes. If you waited 2 hours and you were just patient and you just waited 2 hours, here, triangle they out. There's your 2-2 reversal down right here on the daily. Excuse me, on the 60s. Here's your 2-2 reversal back down. All right. Now it is kind of funky in here, but you did have a 2-1-2. 3-1-2 reversal. No, man, that's nasty. Looks like a 3-1-3. Yeah, you had a 3-1-3 reversal on the 60s on that day. Get rid of that. 3-1-3. Get out of here. Yeah, 3-1-3 situation right here. So this is a mess. But you did have, you had a way in, okay? So scenario 3. No, that's too. Let me do this. No, yeah. These wicks are nasty. I was gonna put 3-2, and then a little nasty 2 in there. Yeah, that went straight back doji, and then not a lot of opportunity on that 60, but it did reverse. Okay, and you could have found a way in this. Okay, drop it down to the 30s. What do you see? What do we see? All right. You could have got in a 2-2 reversal right here, waiting for the triangle layout. They're blasting off, blast, up, they're just buying everything. And then you got your inside 30, and then 3-1-2 down. 3-1-2 reversal back down, okay? Then 2-2 reversal back up right here. That's your way in, okay? It is a little funky. It's a little messy, so you probably would have to take profits quickly. But if you're working common or you know how to position size very well, you could have rode that. It is ugly, but you could have rode it. Maybe take your profits back up here at 450, 59. But that's your way in, okay? Right here, triangle it out. Now you're in, okay? Triangle it out. Now you're in. You're looking for a reversal back into the green. You guys remember in my episode, in my Benzinga interview, I kept saying, look for a reversal back into the green. That's what you need to do. Not necessarily, don't buy the dip. Trade the reversal. Okay? Trade the reversal. That is a little messy example there, but that's how you would have got in on that. But then let's make this big, because this is also a good reason why you don't just jump in. Here's your 30s. Okay? Here's your 30s, and I can't stand it anymore. I just got to buy. So you buy a 2-2 continuation right here. All right? Or, maybe even right in here. 2-2 continuation. I just get in because I got the FOMO. This one would have worked for a while. All right? But then you would have got messy up in here. Same thing here. If you would have bought at 448, 448.84, just jumping in, because you can't stand it no more, you got chopped up. Look at these bars. Look at these bars right here. This is you getting triangled out. Okay? Look at that. Mess. You would have bought that thing right at the top of the try. Right at the top of the 2-2 continuation. Anytime you buy anything at 2-2 continuation, either up or down, you are risking yourself getting triangled out. Okay? And that's what this looks like. Okay? This is exactly what this looks like. You just buy it on a 2-2 continuation, and they start taking profits, but then they want to buy it again, and then nope, we're taking profits, and then it's just you are getting chopped up in here. Okay, chopped up. 60s. What does that look like on the 60s? Again, Rob, I just need to buy it right now. I just want to buy it right now. I just need to get in, okay? What you're doing when you just get in is risking getting triangled out. 2-2 continuation. This is not a reversal. There's no reason for you to do this. You just bought it. And what happens right here, the next bar, next 60, 2-2 reversal back down, okay? You got triangled out and, wrecked. All right, you didn't go all the way down here, so you ain't wrecked so bad. But you're definitely holding a losing position in this situation here, getting triangled out. You want to hold options in this type of situation? Not me. So that's how people get triangled out, is buying on 2-2 continuations. Okay, but then again, on my example on the 30s, again, with the 60s, when it's blasting like this, and Rob says, just wait. Just be cool, man. Just wait. They will triangle it out. You're just waiting. Now you got your reversal, and then now you can start looking for a way back in, okay? Now you can start looking for a way back in. Same thing here. Here is this day on the SPY in the 60s. Let's make this, yep. 2-2 reversal back down on the day. Okay, day is red. 60 day is red. Week is red. Okay, the month still green. Okay, though it's inside, it's green. But I definitely gap down. I missed it. I didn't buy puts. I didn't know this was going to be a gap down. You had your 2-2 reversal back up, and then that's what we look for. So you could have got in on that. But then you have this outside 60, okay? Outside 60. So if you wanted to get puts, on this because, oh man, I missed it. I could have made so much money waiting on this. If I would just got in on this, I didn't get it. If you just would have waited, here's your outside 60, 3-2 continuation down, okay? This is all like news driven too. But 2-2 continuation down. 3-2 continuation down, okay? So here's your reversal right here, the scenario 3, and then here's your 2-2 continuation of this, 2 continuation down, okay? Getting tripped up on my words. So 3-2 continuation down, all right? So again, if you wanted to get puts on this, just wait. Here it comes. Bam. You know what I mean? Now you can start working puts right here, 446.37. Now you can start working something, okay? Again, triangle they out, okay? Wait for them to triangle they out. Here's a 2-2 reversal right here. 2 down, 2 up. Okay? 2 down, 2 up. And what did they do, okay? Sellers are in control. Buyers try to step up. There is a 2-2 reversal, but then they immediately start, the sellers step back up. They immediately sell this sucker, and you got a 2-2 reversal back down on the 60s, okay? 2-2 reversal back down. Let's do this. Let's make this, give me 60s right here. And so I'm going to turn my labels on for you, for the kids in the back. For the kids in the back. 2-2 reversal. Down, okay? Triangled out. Triangled out. Right here. All right? So how can you use this to your advantage? If you wanted to buy puts on this thing, because you missed the downside stuff, just wait. You know what I mean? Just wait. There is a 2-2 reversal here. I would have bought right there, honestly. But then put my stops in and definitely would have got stopped out there. But outside 60, Sarah's 50% rule, you definitely would have cut that immediately and then started working it to the downside. And here's your reversal on the scenario 3-2 continuation down. That's how you would work that. Okay, these buyers got triangled out. Can I do, let me see here. Nope, I don't want none of that. Where is a good, where is it? Let's try this. I want to do an experiment here. It might work. It might not work. We'll see. All right, don't start doing this, okay? I don't want you guys to start drawing triangles, but I want you to see this, okay? I want you to see this. All right? These guys, these buyers here got triangled out. Okay, there's your triangle. All right? Don't start drawing triangles. But anyway, so these buyers are gone, okay? These buyers are gone. Triangled out. Same thing down here. All right. Oops, wrong button. These guys right here, triangled out. Now this is just a visual, okay? So I don't want you guys to start drawing triangles and everything. If it helps you look at it and see it, you know what I mean? And during practice when you're by yourself, the market's not open and you're just practicing, you can see this stuff, okay? These guys are getting triangled out, okay? Triangle, all right? Again, that's just a visual. But these buyers here are gone now, all right? These guys, hopefully they ain't holding this. Hopefully they're not, because they're gone. Or they're holding losing positions big time. They are holding losing positions. Just because you have tight stops, triangle layout's not necessarily about having stopping out people with tight stops. I've heard that being said too. It's one way of looking at it, but again, it's triangle layout is something that's not affecting the overall trend. So most of the trend here is to the downside because of my day. Day is red. Most of this is red, so 2-2, it already gapped down. It's already at the lows. 2-2 reversal up, but this 2-2 reversal doesn't necessarily change this green at all. And then outside 60 to the downside, red, okay? So now it is, let me change this. So the week is red, the week is red, the day is red, my 60s are red. Here's this little green. Let's see if we can bring it back up. Here's these buy the dipper guys and traders. 2-2 reversal, yes, but then it gets sold immediately. All right, sold immediately, triangling these guys out, and you had very little probability that this 2-2 reversal was going to work. You had very little probability. Okay, and then it goes right back into the trend of going down. So these guys got triangled out. Okay. Let's see if we can find some more good ones. Triangle they out. Triangle they out. Let's go. What was it? XLE. XLE. Let's find some triangle they out. XLE's been blasting. Okay. Now on a bigger time frame, what does triangle they out look like? On a bigger time frame. Larger time frame, okay? Because XLE is ripping, okay? XLE's got a 2-1-2 reversal to the upside on the quarterly and the year. 2-1-2 reversal on the year. It's up on the quarter. Here's your monthly bars. Bam, 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 bam. Okay? All right? Hammer in force at 57.80, okay? That's the beginning of the year, January 3rd, all right? And so when you got all this going on, what does triangle layout look like on a larger time frame? Look at these weeks, okay? All right? The overall trend is going up. You can see that. The overall trend is going up. But then you have these weeks where they're taking profits. They're taking profits. Sellers take in, step in for a little bit, and then here's your scenario 3, back up, back into the major trend of going, to the upside. All right. Up, 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 and then you got 2-2 reversal back down. Let me zoom that in a little bit. 2-2 reversal back down. Scenario 3. It's a little messy for these 2 weeks. So people taking profits, but look at that month. Okay, give me my yellow arrow right here. All right. All right. Here's my weeks. Let me see here. Yep, that one needs to go away. Nope, that's right. That's weird. It's on this month here. All right. I'm not sure. It's probably just a perspective thing for the chart. But anyway, here's your scenario 3. You can see where the crosshairs are lining up on that month. It's on this month. These green bars are also, these red bars right here are also happening in this green month. All right, in the bottom left quadrant right here in this month. All right, and they got triangled out. They took some profits. Here comes February 28th. Bam. Back into the green of the overall trend, okay? Of going to the upside. So this is a triangle they out, okay? Back to the highs. 2-2 reversal. 3-2. Yep. 3-2 reversal up. 2-2 continuation up. Now, last week, they took profits. All right? Month is still green right here. Month is still green. Right here, month is still green, but on these weeks, all right, 2-2 reversal back down on the week, 2-2 reversal back up into the green, okay? Reversal back into the green. Does that make sense? That makes sense. Let's look at it one more time. Let's slow it down one more time. So we got the overall trend, 2-2 reversal back up, 2-2 reversal back up in XLE. Here we go. 2-2 reversal, 2-2-2, okay? What does triangle layout look like? Here's your weeks, okay? Ripping. First three weeks of the month, ripping. They take profits here on February 14th. They start taking profits, 2-2 reversal back down, all right? And then you got the week after that, scenario 3. All that's happening right here in this green month, all right? Right here. This is happening here, okay? And you just wait. Here's your 3-2 reversal back up, back into the green, okay? Which reconfirms what we're seeing on the month. If you weren't in, that's a place to get in. 3-2 reversal up, 2-2 continuation. Then March 14th, 2-2 reversal back down on the week. They took profits. Okay, took profits, some selling going on. The headlines saying, America's got enough oil reserves, we can handle it on our own. whatever the news wants to say, okay? We trade price action, but that also is happening in this green month here, okay? This reversal down happened in this green month. Then 2-2 reversal back up into the green, reconfirming what we're seeing on the month, that they're buying it on the month. And they've been buying it all quarter. And so far they've been buying it all year, okay? So how can you use this, okay? How can you use triangle layout? And I'm going to stick with XLE just because the overall trend is to the upside, okay? But how can we use triangle layout to our benefit? What I say and what I like to do is I always tell people to push their stops up. After you create a winning position, keep pushing your stops up. Keep pushing your stops up. And then why? Because what you're doing is when they do triangle layout, when they do triangle mount on the smaller time frame, you get stopped out with profit. Okay? You get stopped out with profit. You don't have to, you don't have to hope it comes back. You don't have to hope. You do not have to hope. You got to stop that profit. If it sets back up, get back in. Remember this 3-2 situation right here. 3-2 reversal back into the green. Okay, 3-2 reversal back up. You can get back in instead of holding through all this mess. If you are a tank and you like to hold long term and you got in way down here, okay? You got in way down here at 5803. Yep, 5803, beginning of the year, and you're in this thing. You can stomach some of this stuff, okay? You're still taking a risk. It's still just as risky, even if you put your stops even, because this thing could go. It did go 2-2 continuation down, but then became a scenario 3 after it broke the highs here, okay, on the 24th, the week of the 24th of January, okay, right here, and so you are taking a risk. It is riskier because a triangle layout on a larger time frame could come all the way back down, take you completely out. You know what I mean? It happens on smaller time frames too. But there's a lot more. You got You got time exhaustion risk. You got scenario, reversal exhaustion risk where the scenario is not there anymore. The reversal's done, and time exhaustion is another big thing because every week, all three of these time frames start all over. The week starts over, the day starts over, the 60 starts over, and then every month, all 4 time frames start over. So it's not, being a swing trader is not the easiest thing either. Being a tank is not, it's not so heart pounding as being a day trader, but we got our own risks that we have to deal with, okay? Because all these time frames start over. You can get triangled out on a week when things were going great. So that's why I tell people just, push your stops up. If you get stopped out with profit, wait, let's see here, 23rd, yep. Give me another line right here. You get stopped out up here, you get stopped out with profit. And then go scenario 3. We already talked about this last week, taking a 3-2 reversal back up into the green. I would do that. I do that. Rob says it's a very aggressive way of trading because it has to stay out of this scenario 3, because if it falls back in, it can get stuck in a mother bar problem. But a 3-2 reversal back into the green here. Now you're back in, okay? All right, this does not hit your stop. You could have held through this. Again, it's still risky because you can come back through really far and then take you all the way out and you get nothing, okay? So scratch, you know what I mean? Scratch. But if this is a triangle layout, TTO, this becomes your ad now, okay? This becomes your ad right here. All right, 3-2 reversal up, add, 2-2 reversal, or 2-2 continuation up. All right, now you added to your winning position. Okay. Now here, again, you got in down here, or even if you're still in from way down here, you didn't take any profits, and this was your add. And let's just mark this we'll just call this other triangle layout, TTO. We'll call that your add. All right. Your original position down here. Triangle out, add, oh, back into the green, add. All right, it's still working. No corrective activity here on the weekly. Oh, 3-2 continuation, or 3-2 reversal backup, add, you know. And here, it's a little funky. Corrective activity, 2-2 reversal back down, 2-2 reversal back up, add. You know, that's just one way you can do it, okay? That's how you can use these triangle layouts for ads. If you weren't in, if you missed 57.76, you missed that one. Go on. What am I going to do? Am I just going to jump in? No. All right. I'm waiting for corrective activity. Oh, here's some corrective activity. Scenario 3, back up. Now I'm in. There's your entry, okay? Let's make this bigger. There's your entry. And then let's just say I didn't, you missed that one. 65, you don't want that one either, okay? You definitely want this one. 3-2 reversal back up. Yeah, definitely want this one. 3-2 reversal back up. Yep. 3-2 reversal back up. Let me move this. Yep, there you go. So you can see some prices here. 3-2 reversal back up. Now you're in. Okay. Triangle they out. Now you're in. Okay.
Triangle they out. They will.
Now you're in. Okay. If you miss this one and you're the last person not trading XLE, you get it. Here's your 2-2 reversal. Triangle they out. Now you're in. Okay. Triangle they out. Here's your buyers. They were right here. Everybody's, these guys got taken out. These buyers got taken out. Now you're back into the green. Okay. 2-2 reversal back up. Okay. 2-2 reversal back up. Now, the reason why this works is because we know that traders are taught. This is gonna look weird, but we know traders are taught to put their stops at the bottom of the bar. Okay, we don't do that. I'm gonna say this again. Stratters do not put their stops at the bottom of the bar. Okay. There's a big misconception on where we put our stops. It's not at the bottom. It's too much risk. All right. We are using all these stops to triangle people out, and we're using these stops to take out liquidity. This does look weird, but all the people are taught to put their stops at the bottom of these bars. All right. Once these guys get taken out, we know liquidity speeds up. Okay, because all the algos are telling it, getting everybody out of these losing positions. Because whoever bought in here, these guys are gone. These guys got triangled out. They are gone. And if they're holding on, they ain't liking it. All right, and they ain't liking it unless they're in a situation I talked about earlier, and they're in a winning position. They can hold through it. But if you bought here, whoever put their stop at 67.42. That stop got taken out. Okay. Now 2-2 reversal back up. Okay. 2-2 reversal, 3-2 reversal back up. There's another thing going around right now talking about stop hunting. I don't know these guys. Stop hunting. It seems like there's a brand new weird thing always put out once a week. There's a new trend. New fad people are talking about right now. It's stop hunting. We don't care about that stuff either because, again, we're not putting our stops at the bottom of the bar, the bottom of the previous range. Okay, that's too much risk. What we are doing is, here's a 3-2 reversal. I'll give you two examples. Here's a 3-2 reversal. I'm putting my stop right here. Either this is going to work or it's not going to work. And if I get taken out, fine. I get taken out, cool. Guess what? I'm getting right back in. If this sets back up again, I'm getting back in, putting my stop back where it was. Okay, all right. Right here, 2-2 reversal. back up. Triangle they out. Triangle they out right here. The overall trend is to the upside. 2 to reversal down, 2 to reversal back up. I'm putting my stop right here, not down here. Not down here. I'm putting it right here. Putting it right there. That protects me. It protects my account. Again, tight stops. Always tight stops. I will never tell you to put in a, buy here and then put a stop way down here. You know what I mean? I'm never going to tell you, especially if you're trading options, to put a stop at the bottom of the previous range. Never, ever, ever. Rob doesn't teach you that. I don't teach you that. Michael Dang doesn't teach you that. All right? That's not strat. Triangle layout. Any more questions about triangle layout? How else can we use triangle layout? Sticking with energy. You can see the overall trend going up, okay? And you find here's a 2-2 reversal back into the green right here. 2-2 reversal. Now you're in, okay? These guys got triangled out right here. These guys definitely got triangled out all the way down in here. 2-2 reversal back up. 2-1-2 continuation. A little chop and then snail 3. Bam. Triangle these guys out. All right. There's your broadening formation on the 60. Again, Rob's always talking about people getting triangled out. This is what he's talking about. All these guys gone. All of these bars stuck in this one scenario 3. All these guys chopped up. And then the rest of these bars are all stuck inside this broadening formation, okay? This sub-try, all right? These guys got triangled out on this outside 60. And now you got you did have a 3-1-2 reversal back up. You could have took that right at 73, 83 and then worked it. Didn't hit magnitude, but you still could have been in it, okay? Because it didn't take out your stops. If you put your stop at 73.53, it didn't take out your stops. What happened the next day? Blasting. March 22nd. Excuse me, March 21st to the highs. All right. Now, if you are in from way down here, 3-1-2 reversal way down here. Here's my broadening formation. Completely got out of that. Bam. Now you're in. Now you're already in. You can stomach some of this nastiness. Look at these bars. Chop shop. Chop shop. That is messy. Holy crap. You can stomach this if you got in way down here, okay? But then, like I said, if you raise your stop, this is a gap up. So what I would do is I'd put my stop right here. If this thing is going to go 2-2 reversal back down, I'm getting stopped out with profit. Didn't get stopped out. I move my stop up. All right, didn't get stopped out. May have here, definitely would have got stopped out on this bar right here. This 2-2 continue. This 2-2. That's a continuation because it goes 2 down, 2 down. Yep. So you would have got stopped out in this area, but I would have got stopped out with profit. And then it goes 2-1-2 reversal up, and then 2-2 reversal back down. All it's still pretty much stuck in here. So now you have another try. All right. You have a new sub try. And it is here. All right. There's a new sub try. Nothing to really draw this back off of. You could probably do something weird. You could probably draw it off back here if you want. Just to have another point to draw it back to because that's all stuck in there. All right. There's your next sub try you're trying to get out of. All right. There's your next sub try. All stuck in here. Look at that. It's stuck. All stuck between here and here. There's your sub try. These guys are getting chopped up. And this guy, whoever bought here, 74.59, he almost got triangled out. He almost got taken out. But he didn't. 2-2 reversal back up. Didn't hit magnitude, but now you're in. Okay. Didn't hit magnitude, which was 76.21, but at the same time, didn't hit your stop. Did not hit your stop. You're in. Okay, even if you put your stops even, you still are in. You did not get taken out. And then another gap up the very next day. Very, very headlines driven. XLE. Okay, that's how you can use these triangle layouts. Okay, and then this now here's your next, sub try up in here. Notice it's at the top of this here. So this is where you can use it, for lack of a better term, support and resistance. Okay, these broadening formations, these tries. Okay, the triangles. Okay, triangle layout. Be patient. All right. If you missed this gap up, this awesome gap up. You missed it. You know what I mean? If you weren't in here, in here at 75.11, you missed it. Okay. Now look at this. All right. Now all this is stuck in this one bar. Not the best. This is all stuck in this bar here. I understand that. Look at that mess. Mess. But you did have a 3-2 reversal back up. Okay. But you would have had to take your profits dang near immediately. You would have pushed your stops up because it's close to magnitude. Push your stops all the way up. Get stopped out with profit because they took profits right here at the end of the day. All right, people getting triangled out. I hope that explains triangle layout. I really do. I think it does. I showed you what triangle layout is. I completely identified it and defined it, and then showed you how to use it to your advantage. How to what's happening when people are getting triangled out based on the broadening formations, and then also how to get in on something while it's don't get the FOMO. Just wait for them to triangle layout. Okay, just wait for corrective activity and get in. What I didn't show you is how triangle layout works on the 15 minutes or the 5 minutes. Okay, that I want you to go research that on your own. Okay, maybe I'll do another video about that. Maybe I'll do a bonus video of just showing intraday stuff, because you'll see it's ripping on the 60s, drop down to the 5 minutes, and the broadening formations work exactly the same. Okay, it's triangling out, corrective activity, reverses back to the highs, reverse, going down, reverses back up. You know what I mean? Test the top, test the lows, test the highs, test the lows, test the highs, test the lows, and the triangle gets bigger. Hence the name broadening formation. Okay, so whenever we talk about triangle layout, TTO, we're talking about broadening formations and price discovery moving through broadening formations on a smaller time frame. That does not affect the higher time frames. Okay. Let me know if this episode did clear it up for you. I hope it did. Let me know if it didn't. I'll do another one. These videos are a lot easier to create when I have people to engage with. So that's why it's really important for you guys to be here on the live shows. That way I got somebody to work, I got you guys to work with, and I can, are you really getting the concept? You know what I mean? Are my examples really, honing in on what you guys need to know? So get in the comments. Let me know what you think. Get in the forums. Create a forum. You know what I mean? Triangle layout. I'll actually create the forum for you, and then you guys just post all your questions and charts, and use it to your advantage. That's the whole point of triangle layout. Use it to your advantage as a stratter. Okay, and trade reversals. Either you're using it to take profits, you're using it to add, or you're using it to know when to cut your position. Okay, triangle layout. That's going to do it for me. Again, if you want to get in with Sepia Group, type in Strat Soldier 2022. Strat Soldier 2022. That's going to get you the first 3 months of Rob Smith, Smith in the Black live trading. For the first 3 months, $99 per month for the first 3 months. Okay, that's a whole quarter. You got Rob does the Power Hour every Monday, 1 hour after the close, where he actually teaches this stuff. Have fun with Rob, joke around. laugh at the charts because once you start understanding this stuff and you understand how to use triangle layout, these charts become hilarious because you'll see people out there post all this stuff about what they think the stock's going to do, and Nvidia has this like analysis day or whatever their stupid days, and then you're like, no, where do you think you're going? Triangle layout, bam, scenario 3 to the downside. It's so funny. Get in there with us, trade the price action, have fun. Strat Soldier 2022. And also another deal is Learn More 22. Learn More 22. That's going to get you Rob's full course on the Strat, and then my execution course for only $3.99 for both courses. Both courses, you have them forever. You got them until as long as Sepia Group's got their doors open. You got the course. Refer to it as much as you want, and then remember, my course is just a quick reference guide on how to execute the reversals, how to manage open positions. You got some quizzes and stuff in there as well, but it's truly you're watching Rob's course, and then my course kind of slows everything down, and now you can kind of digest what's happening and gives you more time to just kind of think about it and work it. So Learn More 22 for $3.99. Learn More 22, and that ends at the end of March. Okay, so after this episode, you got like a couple more days. I haven't looked at a calendar, but you got a couple more days, and then it's done. Okay, so get in there, take advantage of it. Learn More 22. Follow Sepia Group. If you don't follow Sepia Group, follow them. They got all the deals. Separate Group's also got these clips that they're putting out of these shows from guests and from Rob and myself and other people. And they're also doing it with Michael Dang and Rob's shows as well. They're 30-second clips, but it's 30-second clip that you can save and watch over and over and over and over. And repetition is the mother of skill. That's what I got to see it 100 times before it really locks in. But when it does, it's mine. I got it. I got it forever. And so they always get in there. Get in there with us. Get in there. Follow Sepia Group on Twitter. Get in the forums. If you actually registered to watch any of these live shows or this one as well, you got access to the forums. You got access to Sepia Social. Okay, I actually did the futures practice on Twitter. I didn't do it on Twitter because they was acting a fool. I'm gonna take it over Sepia Social, and I did it over there, and we had a good time. Okay, we had a real good time posting the charts, watching the scenarios play out on the 60s over the futures, and we had a good night. All the way up to like 11 o'clock at night was my last post, and it was awesome. And we checked it again the very next day, and we hit magnitude to the downside on that 60 broadening formation, and we watched everybody get triangled out. And then they triangled out again during the day, okay? So that's going to do it for me, Strat Soldier, with the weekend shift. Get with me, get with Rob, get with Michael Dang. Don't sleep on Michael Dang, all right? He's doing his show at like 07 in the morning. He is kicking butt. He's helping you create a watch list, what to look for during the day. We're looking at futures as well in there. And he also talks technical analysis. So if you do trade technical analysis, Michael Dang is your guy because he talks the strat, and he can translate what we would see, and as opposed to what technical analysis would see, and vice versa, and make it make sense. Okay, I actually learned some stuff from him concerning market phases and distribution days and other things I normally don't look at. Michael Dang has taught me some stuff too, so it's been fun watching him to work. He is good. Anyway, we got Sepia Group's got some good things coming up. They're working on some stuff in the background. I'm sure they don't want me to say anything about it, but I'm telling you, we got some cool things coming. Some really cool features coming to the site. Get in there in the blogs. Watch John Antonelli. He's trading live, real live money. Sepia, real money. Trading Sepia blog. Check it out. John Antonelli, 30 years in the business, making trades. He's showing you his exits, his stops, and he's also explaining why he exited. Okay, which is really cool. I got in because of this. I got out because of this. which is also awesome. We also did a Fed recap in the blogs. And there's all kind of stuff going on in separate groups. So come over and have some fun. Anyway, this is a Strat Soldier with the weekend shift. I will see you guys next week. Peace.